felt like my power level like advanced. Like if I was lost in the wild without summer, my hair could actually like retain moisture for at least like 2 weeks.
That's facts.
With the skills that I've acquired.
Yeah. But I've been trying with my shit too. And I've been reaping the benefits. My hair is like real.
Right? No, I saw you had the extra oils over there, bro, in the bathroom on the sill, bro. A little drop.
What I keep. I be conditioning and shit.
Episode 5.
We back.
How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
You look pretty baked.
I'm cooking, man. Lately, the bong been taking me out, bro. It's unusual. There was a time where like I felt like I could savage that shit. And I don't know, like I took a little hiatus and I guess my lungs got spoiled or something,
The bong probably evolved. The glass probably corroded a little bit, got a little extra space.
I don't know, man. I clicked it pretty recently. You know what I mean? Like I keep a good bong, I like to think.
I hear you.
I'm
not going to slander you on the internet.
I know. Like,
keep a clean
like
bong,
the episode
y'all.
just started. Y'all see? Jesus, how you doing, bro?
Pretty good, man. It's been a long week. We had a fire-ass Gas Goku.
We sure did.
Last Sunday. For those who may not know, Gas Goku is a quarterly event we put on.
Yes, sir.
Where, we gonna stone like we normally do, but it's a fire environment. We sit down, watch a movie, do trivia. We had a caricature artist this time around. Yeah, we had people
getting little manga-style drawings of themselves, bruh.
Shout out to everybody that came, man. Shout out to Shamad providing, he provided art for us. Shout out to Rel.
Yup. At Skaggs Hood, that was our caricature artist. He also sold some dope prints and he did our flyer. So check him out on Instagram and all his socials at Skaggs Hood.
It was really fun. It was really fun. We watched Boy and the Beast.
Yeah, bro.
A beautiful, a really energetic anime.
Yeah, I had mixed feelings about it. People had mixed feelings about it.
We started like halfway through too.
Yeah, but it's real Disney movie-esque.
That's true.
Which like some people might not like.
That's true. It wasn't a gritty anime. It was.
Yeah, it's not very gritty. It's real like, he becomes his soul. Like
the ending was kind of like, all right, let's save the day.
Yeah, like he saves the day with the shining sword. Hurrah!
It was heartfelt.
But it's hard. I fuck with it. I like the emotional buildup of it.
The animation was fire.
Yeah.
There was a scene where the antagonist was walking through the streets and his shadow was a giant well, and the well manifested as like energy. And so it was just hidden. It was cool. They did a great job with that.
Nah, the Boy and the Beast was hella tough. We had a dope round of trivia, man. People got a little cocky at first with the DBZ questions, but
we had some streaks.
We had some. Yeah, it was a hot trivia this time around, bro.
Neck to neck.
They was really fighting for it. Yeah, man.
The 100 questions threw people off.
Yeah, man.
We got people with some Yu-Gi-Oh questions.
Yeah, in the old school. I threw we had the giveaways and shit. So, it was a really good time.
So, yeah, looking forward to the next Gas Goku. So, check out our website and subscribe to our newsletter so you can get updates because the next one's just going to be bigger and better.
Yes, sir. Every time.
We had so much fun with it.
Yeah. So, you want to get into our nerd out for the week, man?
Yeah. So, for this week's nerd out topic, I just kind of binge watched DC films over the past few days. And we were just talking recently about with the recent successes that Marvel has had in the motion picture industry. How can DC, or what should even, DC do to continue content, competition?
Mm-hmm. I think DC should just keep giving us more shit like the Joker.
Yeah.
I think they're really good at like conceptual action thriller renditions of like their heroes, right? Like they're good at building like short 2 hour stories around people that like we're kind of familiar with. But like, maybe they put a spin on their character or like it's a different style of universe or like whatever.
Yeah, I think one thing that's interesting, I was watching the Justice League and this kind of happened to me, but it seems like a lot of DC's heroes operate in very different environments also.
Yeah.
And so for some odd reason, Marvel's able to cohesively like have all of their heroes be in the same place. Whereas Batman's in Gotham City and Superman's like in fucking Kansas somewhere, and
like Wonder Woman's
Aquaman's
in like,
underwater. Like Wonder Woman's like
how the fuck do y'all niggas save anybody, bro?
And so watching the Justice League movie was interesting because they all just, like Aquaman just like got out the water and then just like went back to the water, and it was like, well, what the fuck is he doing in the water? Like, or if he's not in the water, why isn't he in the water?
Watch
like,
the movie. I don't know. Like
it seems real.
It's fragmented.
It seems fragmented. So I think that's also why, if they kind of focus, try and less to make the universes in the big screen and let the big screens be deep dives into interesting characters. Because historically, I guess they've had, DC has had Green Lantern, which was, I didn't really like it that much.
That was an L. They want us to forget that movie.
Yeah.
They do.
And the Green Lantern it could have been like hella fire, I feel. I think they just kind of fumbled that one. Wonder Woman was dope.
Wonder Woman was solid.
Yeah, I fucked with that.
I would say Aquaman was solid, like lower tier solid.
Aquaman
like
yet.
Jason Momoa cool, so like just kind of him being like a cool nigga.
And that's one thing you need too. You need to find those actors that just kind of embody the character.
Like, Cause like I appreciate like having Aquaman be like a cool ass Samoan dude versus like the weird, just like regular like white Atlantean, you know, like blonde hair, blue eyed, I can swim dude. Like that's not as cool.
And I think one thing, a lot of the Marvel characters have been written in ways that they also can be ordinary-ish people. Like a lot of the characters just fit into like the real world, so you can also just throw in a lot of random real world interactions. All the DC movies were just so intense
because they're gods.
They're people. Yeah, like when they're the hero, they are the fucking hero. The whole
it's like,
movie.
Yup, I just like stopped a comet from hitting the earth,
and I'm gonna
like,
go sit back in my cave and not like walk around the streets because like
I'm that powerful. Meanwhile, Peter Parker can't pay his rent. Like
he going to school and shit. Like
nigga broke. You like
walking down
bro.
the street. Like
I feel you, bro. Like
Marvel's managed to make their heroes be big and also relatable. Like they fit in. Even with Guardians of the Galaxy, like they made a little microcosm of that shit. Like, yeah, I think that and this is segueing into our cool guest later on. But I think that DC has potential with a lot of the like milestone like characters also, and they have like rights to those characters and they have an agreement. So I think diving into the Static, motherfucking Icon, like I'm just kind of getting hip to like a lot of those black characters that exist in like a DC-ish universe, and that's just hard.
Yeah, man, I don't know if I could trust them.
Don't know if you could trust them.
I don't know, man. Like, I don't know. I mean,
they could hire, you know, they could hire niggas. They could hire niggas,
a couple young niggas or something.
Hire a couple young niggas, you know.
But I haven't seen like DC really like. Wow, I mean, I'll say I haven't seen it because I haven't watched it. I'll be honest in that regard.
You gotta
but like,
dive more into that like streaming stuff too. And
I haven't heard like super great reviews for like some of the like streaming like series that they have. Like, so it's like, man, like I don't know if I feel compelled to like go for it or not. But I don't know. I think it definitely has potential as an idea because now's the time to just like make dope shit.
You gotta do it.
Like,
they just gotta do it, man.
And like diversity is cool now.
And I think Marvel's also gearing up for their like second wave of heroes, and so
Marvel about to go crazy.
Before
still,
like you know, there's a post Endgame kind of like gap, breath. You know,
they could pop out with some shit real quick.
Yeah, people are like still like stuck on like old heroes, so DC could throw some new stuff in there and like hopefully grab some attention.
Maybe. I mean, the Joker's coming in, I think like October or something.
That shit will be fire.
So I feel like that'll definitely be a good time to grab some. Ooh. Oh, I got DC in front of it. Nice. Good for them.
I wonder even if they should like dive into like their villains too, man. Like going on kind of. Like Lex.
Sorry. Finish.
Like Lex.
Yeah,
Luthor?
Lex Luger. Lex Luthor. My bad.
I was like
Producing ass nigga. I was like Lex Luger, not Luthor. And motherfucking Catwoman. I feel like they could make a cool Catwoman.
They probably scared the Catwoman after what they did.
Yeah. The Halle version.
They had Halle Berry.
I was like, damn. They had dribbling the ball. I was like, oh man. But I feel like now they could get like a cool ass, you know, like Tessa Thompson type nigga, you know, Janelle Monáe type nigga to be Catwoman.
That'd be hard.
Like, you know, like a strong black woman with some swag to be Catwoman. Yeah. Like, I would watch that.
Of course.
Like,
hey, we giving gems.
I know, man. We shouldn't be giving away this shit for free. We fucking up. Nina talks.
So they like the producer tag?
Right, like, hey, you gotta tag it. Brandon, like and subscribe. Nah, man, that's hella facts. But I've heard, you know, that I've seen them doing a lot of good, like, animation stuff. A lot of the, like, recent DC, like, little animation, like, films that they have, like, those are always really good in my opinion,
always been
too.
cool with that. Fucking Batman Beyond.
Yeah, like, I really enjoy
animated Batman.
Yeah, I really enjoy their, like, animated stuff. And I also think that could, and kind of, like, a wave where, like,
Teen Titans, Justice League, they're all in their prime when they're animated.
Yeah, like taking kind of a route of the motherfucking Spider-Man movie. Going more of like a 3D animated, Teen Titans and shit like that. Batman Beyond being a 3D animated Batman Beyond.
That could be hard.
Bruh.
That could be hard.
That could sell out theaters, bro. That shit could be so hard, bro.
Yeah. More gems.
These are
just things we want to see, honestly.
Bruh. And we just two high niggas, man.
Just two high niggas. Speaking for the people.
Just talking, bruh. Nina talks. Bruh. But, you know, since we faded, it's a good little segue. Should get up to our roll up.
I wish I could roll up right now.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I've been hitting the pen hellas. That's been my
man, yeah. The pen is fire. I have like
it's a very convenient.
I have a little tinge of doubt because I read an article and that's all what articles always lead to tinge.
Where they be talking about like the
niggas' lungs and shit.
All like the weird shit they be putting in it.
Yeah. It wasn't even like, I don't think it was pointed to any like specific like lace or anything. They were just saying that in some state in the US, a bunch of people like started coming in with like this lung issue when they found out that they all just smoke vape pens. So I was like, oh, the vape pen convenient, but roll up.
The roll up. Keep it all natural.
King palm type shit.
The king palms, the raws, all that good shit. That's facts.
But yeah, so our roll up topic this episode shit stems off a funny ass story, but we're gonna talk about first world problems.
First world problems.
And the shit, like, it starts off like, I got this coworker. It was awesome. He was like checking in, and so he sends me kind of like the Slack message. And he asked me like 3 things. He's checking. He's like, you know, how's work doing with the projects that you got going on? He's like, damn, let me get this right. I'm not trying to botch no words either. So he checks in about work. He then asked me how I'm doing, just because I got like a whole bunch of house stuff going on. So he's like, hey, how you doing? You know, if there's ever anything you need, like, you know, we could talk. And I was like, all right, for sure. Like, I appreciate that. Thanks for checking out. You know, I ain't even really complaining. Like, I know I got stuff going on with the house, but I ain't really tripping. You know, like, I done been through worse first world problems.
Right.
And like, my dude was like, hold up.
Hold up. Hold the fucking phone.
I just want to let you know, dog, that problems are problems. Ain't no like big problem, little problem. No such thing as first world problems. Like, your problems are your problems. And I was like, I hear you, family.
My man applied the theory of relativity to your problems.
I was like, I hear you. I was like, I definitely, you know, hear you, disagree. I've had worse problems than having to fix my bathroom up type shit. Like, you know, it's my bathroom that I own. That's lit.
That's crazy.
Like, it's a pain in the ass, but that's a first world fucking
that's
problem.
Like a great inconvenience. My bad. My property just fucked up. Like,
and that shit was just, it was just funny where I was like, all right, that's just like a moment where they're our first world fucking problem.
Facts.
So that, and my bathroom being fixed up is definitely one of my first world problems. Like, I swear to God, nigga haven't had a working bathroom for 2 weeks. We haven't had power for like 3 months. And we've been like walking on this floor beam that's 75% missing since we moved in the house. All that shit getting fixed though, bro. It's costing a brick, but
these niggas walking on a tightrope day in and day out.
Bro, we stepped to the bathroom, that shit go.
Yo, Darius's balance is great right now. Like, if you try to push him over, you probably can't. Like,
fucking tightrope.
My man is a gymnast. But nah, I feel you, bro. For me, it's like, my family's from Trinidad, and like, there are good parts of Trinidad, there are bad parts of Trinidad, like everywhere in the world. My family's from the not great part of Trinidad. And like, niggas had third world problems. Like,
it's a different problem.
Those are different problems. Like, those are real fucking different problems. So it's like, living here and being like, oh man, like the shit I gotta deal with on a day-to-day and the shit like my family gotta deal with on a day-to-day is so fucking
I'll be
different.
pissed off. I'll be cooling. Like, that's like,
right,
the worst
you're
gonna get me is kind of pissed. Like,
cause it's like, you just gotta remember, like, the world is bigger than like what is, like a few hundred miles around you or whatever.
Yeah. My one first world problem that was really funny for me. I be doing illegal shit sometimes.
Sure do.
But so I do these things called hackathons. That's not the illegal part. But
boy, does that sound illegal, bro.
No, that's not the illegal part.
I do these things called hackathons.
But
they're not illegal, though.
They're not. But
perfectly legal
they're
events.
They're competitions where you have to build things. Akita joined me on this hackathon subject. So he was a witness to this. But it's this hackathon from MasterCard.
Yeah,
they called it the
we
Give
were in that
Back.
one together.
It's called the Give Back-a-thon.
The
So
Give
you know
Back-a-thon.
it can't
It was
be
a
no
charity hackathon. It was a charity
type,
hackathon.
Type shit.
We were helping the world.
And we helping our pockets. Mm-hmm. And they gave out motherfucking gift cards as like prizes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm not mad at money, but also like gift cards, nigga. So I pull out
Brandon.
I pull out my Square Cash reader because, hey, I'll be seeing people swipe this thing and money get in their account. So I took my card and I went swipe, deposit. They said, what is this transaction for? And I was like, business. I got like an email from support. Can we verify this transaction? Yeah, I had like money on the gift card and I wanted to submit that shit. It was like, nah, you can't do that, man. Like, you can't do that anymore. That's laundering. And I was like, bet, that's laundering. That's wild. I got 2 more gift cards. So I was swipe. They flagged the shit out of my account. I put it on my taxes though, so IRS, y'all done got paid for that shit. So I guess like, even though I did launder the money, I gave it back to y'all. So I didn't.
Ethical trapping, bro. Ethical trapping. Perfectly legal.
But I did learn, you can't just take gift card money and put it in your bank account. I don't know why, but that's a rule.
My favorite part of that story is that I did the same shit and I never got that interaction.
Fizz.
Don't know why.
See, bro, they be hating on the nigga, man. Like, I'm flagged this shit, bro. I know.
I was like, shit. Easy peasy. Pay a little fee.
I call it an inside job, man.
Nah.
Predates.
No way.
Again, yes, another great example of fucking first world problem.
Fact. One of my biggest first world problems. Remember when we had that like godly ass beer that one time?
Oh yeah.
That vanilla bean
type shit, man.
Whatever
the
that
love
was.
gun.
The love gun.
That's the name of that shit.
Man,
that shit's so good. I'm in love.
It's an amazing beer. We had it at a bar down the street from us. And like shit was fucking fire. And so we were like, damn, like where can we find this shit again? And like we stumbled into Hop Shop just on some like, oh, let's grab some beers to like kick it.
Mm-hmm.
And Darius was like, shit, like we should see if they have that beer.
Shout out to the Hop Shop, St. Louis Hop
Nina
Shop.
Talks.
Shout out.
Gang.
Yeah, let's finish the story.
Shout out Hop Shop. Facts. It came through, bro.
It came through.
Yeah, man. Shout out Hop Shop, bro. Like,
Clutch.
dog, we saw that shit there. Took that shit home. And like, when I poured it in my cup, I was hella hype. And then I drank that shit and I was like, this shit tastes good, but I taste something different. Then when I had tasted it in the bar and I saw it at that, I sat and I thought, like, shit, like, maybe I'm just tweaking. Like, maybe it's, some other shit.
Yeah.
So I had another one because why not? And I was like, nah, I do taste the difference. I was like, you know what it tastes like? It tastes metallic. And I was
in
like,
the can.
It's the can. It's from being in the can. And I felt,
I want the tap, though.
I was like, yo, this is the bougie shit in the world. But like, I can taste the difference, bro.
Hey,
I never thought I would be.
Sometimes that's, those are the first world problems that we get,
First world
man.
problems, bro. I was like, damn. Like, that shit left my lips and I was like, yo, life is different.
This, my friends, is upsetting.
What happens?
The same beer, distributed differently. I took a sip and I was like, man, that is
your distribution.
That is dissatisfaction.
How
I must
dare
be
you?
bougie.
I need to pay for my transport to where this fine liquid is brewed.
Hey, we gotta go get a beer after this episode.
Oh God.
Anyways, we should probably just. I'm excited for this guest.
Yes, man. This is gonna be a dope ass episode.
We're bringing in David Kirkman, really great director. The last film that I've seen from him was a static fan film that it's been going really crazy, man.
Yeah, man. This shit got like 800K on YouTube right now, bro.
So we're excited to we're gonna go to the smoke break and get back and talk to David.
Yeah, man. Nina talks.
See you in a bit.
What the hell was that?
Man, what?
I've never seen you stand up to them like that before.
First time for everything?
Your vote for me will change things around here.
Dude, your dad is so awesome.
Hey, Richie, come to the kitchen. I gotta show you something.
Dakota City is ready for a change.
So, Richie, can you keep a secret?
Yeah.
Are you positive? It needs to be shorter than that.
Yes. Yes.
All right, ready?
Yeah. What the? You were at the explosion.
Power.
We're not happy with the way our local government handled the situation with our youth last week.
Power. Power.
But when you vote for me, the change that Dakota City needs will come, and it will come swiftly.
But the change that we see shouldn't be placed in the hands of a novice.
Power.
Mr. Mayor.
Commissioner, how we doing?
Good, sir.
Kevin. So how does it feel being the youngest black president of the Alderman Board?
Just trying to do my best to help is all.
It's good, son. It's good.
Any advice? Anything I should be cautious about?
Just do your best, son.
You wanna know what's better than controlling the block?
What?
Controlling the legislation that allows your punk ass to be on that block. 32 kids. 32 Edwin. All dead.
Oh.
He's real, isn't he?
I ain't never seen nothing like it.
The bang baby?
Static.
As the Teen Titan powered up, yeah, him and Superman met that super powered up flesh. Power. Yeah, they sprayed us with that mess. Made us bang babies and on my hat mouth the max. My fuse allude to outlets. I power the transformer, I'm charging it direct. That gas, it had the right specs. They sprayed it on us, discovered us, let it shot, yes.
When you realize who you are, what you're capable of, nothing and no one can stop you.
Hella fucking tall.
I mean, y'all gonna look at this video and be like, man, David's awkward as fuck.
Nah, we ain't.
No, I'm talking like interviews.
We're gonna look at this video. And be
no,
like,
I love it.
I'm excited to have
you. It's gonna be amazing, bro. Yeah.
We're glad to have you, man. Thank you for coming through, bro.
So yes, we're back. We got David Kirkman, wonderful director, here as our guest today. Man, we're really excited. Would you want to start with like an intro, just kind of whatever your film bio is?
Man, like I'm a film director here in St. Louis from Ferguson. We've done some pretty amazing things here, not only in the city, but working on a international stage. I don't know what else to say after that. I've never really had to introduce myself in that way. But we'll unpack that as we talk. You know what I mean?
So how'd you kind of get into like film or arts and directing?
No, I grew up wanting to do music, so like filmmaking wasn't like my thing. I always wanted to like play piano. I grew up in a pretty religious, household, that sort of thing. So I played piano for church and whatnot. But around
my soul,
yeah, exactly, bro. But you know what? Like I didn't know how to like read music or anything. You know what I'm saying? So. In church, you get people that just
will be close enough.
They like to teach you the chords.
Negro spirituals, whatever, bro. Like, we were the church my dad had was much more of a progressive church. You know what I mean? So it wasn't like Negro spiritual,
yeah.
But like you would still get like people who would like show up. Like if we had like a special guest singing or whatever, like, you know how to play this song? It's like, nope, but I'm gonna have to like follow you. You know what I'm saying? So you just you're thrown into like that environment. That's how you learn. That's how you train your ear.
I mean, church musicians are dynamic.
Yeah, I mean, they tend to be like the best jazz musicians. Seriously.
So, improvisation.
Yeah, it's off the chart. So I grew up wanting to do that, man. But around my junior year of high school is when I saw this movie called Inception. Yeah. And then like I was at my grandparents' house like in KC, and my grandpa was like, "Have you seen this movie called Inception?" I was like, "No, man." Like, and so he gave me like it was like this Blu-ray case, whatever. It was like 2 discs.
Yeah,
it was like real special.
The double disc.
Yeah, 2 discs, bro. It was like
2 discs.
The
shit was fun.
So Avatar, Rebels Avatar.
Man, I went down to his man cave, whatever. Man, I was watching it. It's my grandparents in KC, bro. I'm looking at look. I'm a junior. Well, going to be a junior in high school, and I'm watching this movie. I don't even know what the fuck I just watched. Right? We could curse on this, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. So I don't even know what I just watched. And I remember I ended up watching the behind the scenes of it and just seeing all these people come together. I'm like, oh man, okay, cool. Like the music, and then you got this team for the choreography, and you have this team like he's writing the script. Like I love that.
That's hard.
And I was like, well, I want to get into that, and that's kind of how I got into it for the most part. And that had much more of a emotional impact. When I trace that back to me wanting to do music, I wanted to have an emotional impact on people, like through the music. And so like film was just like, it was like, I mean, exactly. Yeah. Like it includes music as well. It's just like the next level up, So yeah, that's how I got into it, bro.
So you went when you went into college or after high school?
So after high school, I grew up in Ferguson. So the middle of my junior year, we ended up moving out to the Maryland Heights area, which is this predominantly white neighborhood. So for me, that was like culture shock.
Facts.
I had to like kind of reinvent myself a little bit, a lot. And I mean, you could be sitting next to somebody who
I'm hooked.
Who's different.
I went to white ass high schools and shit.
Yeah, it's like
it's a shift. It is.
Like it's a.
First world.
Yeah,
problems.
you know what I mean. Like first world, exactly. I wouldn't even say it was a problem. It was just an adjustment that needed to be. Yeah, man. So
first world problems.
Yeah, man. I ended up making more longtime friends there than I did in Ferguson. You know, I ended up making this feature film that you'll never see, because it's so bad.
I can do a lot of stuff on the computer, man.
Right, exactly. But I just threw myself into it, and that's how I learned, man. So at that time, I decided I wanted to go to Webster University for filmmaking, and just me and a whole bunch of high school buddies, you know, just got together 3-4 days out of a week, 12, 15-hour days, just like having fun and filming random shit.
That's tough.
And then that's how I learned how to edit, and so the foundation of it was already there. It was just like, you know, you got to fine tune it. But at the time, I believed in it 200%, man.
So you've been behind the camera, behind the editing, writing.
Well, I mean, my technical strength is really editing. I'm self-aware enough to know that, like, camera, so I'm like really good at that. But like, I prefer not to be behind it, so I could focus on other stuff. You know what I mean? Like,
does that also translate into storyboarding your films? You know,
no, I don't storyboard. Okay. You know, I don't have like. I'm different, bro. Like, you know, like
I'm going into your process.
No, it's fine. Like, you know, I don't storyboard. You know, we don't have cast reads or anything. I don't have formal casting calls. I kind of just, you know, people can send in video auditions, and I kind of go off of that, and I'll talk to them. Then I scope them out on social media, and then I may ask people that they've worked with about like, what was it like working with this person? I might do that. But no, I don't like the formalities of a lot of things. At least at this stage, is like
that's real.
It's a lot of BS. Like you sit behind a table. You're gonna take out several days out of your week or whatever to do formal casting auditions to let you know. And you just yes, you know,
grab some people
like
right
fuck
now.
That shit, bro. Like you know, people like if you're good, like post on social media, post in a couple places, and see who reaches back out to you. People will be willing to do all kinds. You'll be amazed. Like,
and I feel like when you're not on somebody else's dime, also you can kind of just you don't have to be as formal with stuff. Like, you know,
exactly.
Once you hit the point where somebody else throwing you a bag for stuff, then you're like, all right, let me get a contract here.
Yeah, man. I mean, you got to have agreements in place. But I mean, outside of that, like the spontaneity of the creative process for me, filmmaking wise, is important. So that means I need to be like as prepared as possible.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and
to accommodate for all
exactly to make up for all of the freedom that I try to
during the actual process.
Right, the filming of it and beforehand. Yeah, I mean, I try to give the people I work with as much freedom as possible. That's just sort of, I know there's all different kind of ways you can go about it, but my personal style is like provide freedom for everybody. You know, set the structure, the blueprint. The script is a blueprint, but you're a part of it because you're adding to what we're trying to do, and I'll try to make something good out of it.
That's real.
Yeah, so I believe that. Yeah.
What qualities were you looking for in someone to play your Static in your Static Shock film?
And he's wearing treads, bro. No, that'd be crazy. Cause no, you'd be amazed, man. Like how many people have reached out, like be like, man, I could be Static and that sort of thing, man. My thing is, I don't know, man. I just look for people who want it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you want it, like we all want it. Like I just look for people like that, man. Like, you know, who are just driven. Like I don't care if it's your first time or second time. If you got it, you got it. And if you want it, you can have it. You just got to keep that drive. You know what I mean?
Thanks.
Yeah, that's period for me.
That's hard.
Yeah. See, I mean, but experience helps, of course. Like, you know, as you scale, as you grow, like, you know,
you want to be able to just drop somebody in.
Exactly. As this scales and
exactly
as this scales and this grows, like, you know, you'll have like an office and all that. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever. You know, like. Yeah, bro.
So,
I don't know if that makes sense.
It makes sense.
Okay.
I feel you. I'm with you.
No, be real with me. Like, if it don't make sense, let me know.
You.
So, yeah. Okay. Cool.
I'd say what do you feel are the types of films that like you want to be producing in these next coming years? Even if not years, but like in the near future.
That's
a
lot. That's a deep question, bro. I don't know. I feel more attracted to the Afrofuturism genre right now. Yeah. And one of my mentors, Professor Ronaldo Anderson, is one of the co-founders of the Afrofuturism 2.0 movement. That's how Static really kind of took off a little bit. I was able to go to several places because of him, and a lot of people connected to him. So, but no, I feel like Afrofuturism is like the way to go for me.
Yeah.
You know, I know a lot. I'm all for like the hood movies and stuff. Like that. I love that shit. But for me, I feel like I'm more in my lane with the
what you want to
consume
sci-fi right now.
So,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's more my lane. Like I'm not like I think Ferguson wasn't the hood when I was. You know what I'm saying? Like
it's not your
like
experience.
exactly. Yeah, it's not
it's not
necessarily
like.
it's not necessarily my experience. That doesn't mean that you can't do it, because I mean, like, being a superhero isn't my experience either, right? So yeah, man. No, I definitely Afrofuturism is the way.
That's tough.
Yeah,
That's tough.
Yeah. How do I look on camera? I feel like I'm like sweating and stuff, bro. I'm not.
Looking
Okay,
fly.
okay, cool, bro.
Cool. Look, Scissor smiling at you.
Right.
Oh, wait,
You got Gucci looking down on you, bro. You got
Cardi looking at you. You blessed, dog. You all good, man. You got gang with
all
you.
this energy, bro.
It's a lot of positive energy in here, bro.
Yeah. The heat.
It's a lot of positive energy in here, man.
Yeah.
So I think one of my biggest questions, one thing that always like intrigues me with like filmmakers is like that concept of going from like the idea that you see in your head for your next project or whatever, and then like putting that idea on paper and then making that paper a fucking movie. So kind of like walk us through what it was like, a bit as much as you can, like what it was like starting Static from like the idea phase in your head, kind of.
Static or Icon? Icon was.
Let's do Icon.
It was a little bit more interesting.
Let's do Icon, because
I mean, like
sneak peek.
Some exclusive.
Like out here, hold on.
So this would like literally be like the first time talking about it.
Funk Flex Bomb Drop.
Let's go. Okay, so Icon was interesting. Obviously, like Static started blowing up online.
Right.
Back in May. We released it in May. Within like a month or so, it was like 600,000 views or something. It's a little bit more than that now. It's like 800. And that's like just word, like no money, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like just word of mouth. And so I knew like while we were filming Static, I was telling him, I was like, man, I don't want to do no more like, I don't want to do any more like fan films or whatever. Like, we're going to try to focus on original stuff and whatnot. But I realized the potential of what fan films can do.
That's a community you just invite.
Exactly, bro. Exactly, bro.
Grassroots type
but
shit.
I also feel like I'm still learning too. Like I'm learning to like,
always.
like I haven't, there's just so much I got to learn about like myself, what I like, what I don't like, what do I need to delegate more, what, cause I'm more of an operation sort of person.
Yeah.
So I like setting up teams and organizational charts and blah, blah, blah. So I love that shit. That's me. So I realized that going into Icon. And so with that approach, kind of did something that was like, okay, well, Static, we didn't have as much of attention while we were making it and stuff. Yeah. Going into this, there were a lot more people, a lot more resources available, and that sort of thing. And but I had almost a completely different team this time around. Almost, except for like a couple core people. But as far as like, not only obviously the actors are going to be a little bit different because it's a different movie or a different project altogether. But behind the scenes, like almost a completely different team. So, and we had people not necessarily walk out because of the bad reasons or anything, but they got there's a better paid gig here, or you know what I'm saying? Like it happens, and some of that happened like the week before filming was gonna start. Yeah. And so I'm panicking. I remember one time, man, or actually that week before, man, I literally went to bed and I was just like, yo, ancestors, you know what I'm trying to do. And this was like when people were just like, walking out or whatever, because it's like, once you start, it's like you're planning for a big event. And then like as you get closer to it, then people just like, yeah, I can't really do it, blah, 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 sort of situation.
He was talking
That's what happened, for the most part. And so, I said, ancestors, you know what I'm trying to do, man. And I literally went to bed and I was like, honestly, Dave, you really love this shit. Like, like you love having to navigate. Like I love having to navigate like people's personalities and like egos, whatever those might be. Or I love like putting people together. I love it when somebody like walks out on me and I'm like, okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? Like I love that shit. Yeah. Because I know like, you know, I'm gonna still keep moving forward or whatever.
Facts.
And it validates that like preparation.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly. No, I was so
chaos.
focused, man. Like, and then literally after that day, like the week, like this is a few days before production even happened. You know, we flew in the main guy as Icon from Atlanta, and then there were people who were coming in from Chicago and then Kansas City as well. Like everything just started coming together, and then all of a sudden, boom, 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 being sponsored by this place, you know, or you know, I'm not gonna name drop, but you know, just like you know, not necessarily monetarily, but resource wise. You know what I mean?
Blessings started falling.
Yeah, bro. Like, but just like
that manna, bro, make you want to
exactly, bro. It's like imagine if like, you know, I would have said, well, you know, it doesn't make sense for me to keep going at this point. Like, my locations aren't really working out. Some of the core people I was relying on before, I don't know who I'm going to like replace them with. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like, imagine if I would have just been like, okay, well, I'm going to try to push this back or whatever. Then I wouldn't have, you know, reaped some of the rewards.
Right.
This, like, this is fucking amazing, awesome. Bro. Like, Icon is like, hey, this next level, man. Like,
dude.
Then
that's
bro.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
and we had a,
you just keep climbing.
I think we had a more dedicated crew this time around. Mm-hmm. I mean, it was a big crew. I mean, it was like, well, it was about 14, 15 people for the crew. You know, on one day it was probably a little bit more than that. You know, but like everybody was just super focused,
laser focused type.
Yeah,
shit.
bro. Like that amazed me, man. Like so, like that energy and shit. It's kind of just like it infiltrated every level of production, bro.
Yeah,
you know. But yeah.
Hey man, that shout out to you though, man. As a director, as a leader, dog. You know, I feel like to get people fine-tuned into a vision, you gotta like lay the vision out.
Yeah, you do.
Concretely.
You do. Yeah.
And so that's kudos, you know, like.
Yeah. No, it's important. You gotta do that, man. Honestly, like, so I usually have like these meetings before we go into production. It's just like one meeting, I'm like, okay, cool. I'm coming in with my fucking Steve Jobs speech. Everybody knows it's about to go down. You know what I mean? And, you know, I'll have other people come up and talk and, you know, people who are just inspired. But the whole purpose of that is to really just get everybody on the same page. And because like I said, we don't do like formal script reads or anything. So at that time, you can like talk to me in person about like whatever questions you had or any other department heads, whatever questions you may have for them, and blah, blah, blah. So yeah, it's important that everybody's like really like understands, like you up front, like you gotta be real with everybody. Like I'm not trying to, like for fan films can't make literally nothing off of, but there's, you know, there's other things that you could do, you know what I'm saying, to make sure that people get paid and that sort of thing. So yeah, you got to be upfront with everybody about a lot of stuff so that people can begin to trust you. I think when there's like some legitimate level of trust, then like people like fuck, like going all out. That's what happened, bro. Like seriously, yeah.
That's hard.
Yeah, man. Like I wish you was there, man.
That's tough.
Like straight up, just on set. Like it's just an amazing experience.
Where do you think you've gotten your kind of like leadership skills / style from?
Life and like knowing like what I want, and then I was at Netflix back in February, and like they flew me out for about 5 days. So I was out there because Static we didn't even drop Static yet at that point, but the trailer had serious traction too. And so
swaggy in that
exactly.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, man. So one of the senior engineers at their main campus saw
the trailer.
Yeah, man. He saw the trailer on YouTube, reached out to me through Instagram. Didn't know who the person was. Like it was one of those Instagram accounts that are like private.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, you know, even if they message me and then you try to click on it, I was like, well, I don't want to follow this person just because.
Do all that.
Not yet. You know what I mean?
Not yet.
Request. But the person was like, you know, what would it just just out of the blue, what would it take to like have a screening in Northern California? I was like, that would be nice. Never been to California, and then just laid out, like, you know, yeah, like, you know, transportation, lodging, stipend, blah blah blah. You know what I'm saying? Like all that stuff, and
I'd be happy to show you this film.
Right? Yeah, exactly, bro. I was like, seriously, I'm the sort of person. I'm like, I'll sleep on the fucking couch. Like I don't care. Like I don't care. Like you know, I'm there for the experience. Exactly, I'm there for the experience, man. Like, and then like he was like, okay, cool, this is great info. He's like, well, send all this information to me at my email at something at Netflix.com. I was like, wait a fucking minute.
You had to make sure it was
wait a fucking minute. And so I had, so one of my, so I ended up like screenshotting everything and I sent it to like one of my friends who like helps run some of the marketing shit. And sent it to him, and he was like, "Oh fuck!" So he ended up looking up. Oh fuck!
Sounds about right.
Yeah, he was like, "Oh fuck!" It was like, "Oh man, like this is real." Dude. So he ended up like looking up this person on LinkedIn. The dude, it was legit. Yeah. It was legit, man. Hey, like it was like a straight up. Check, it was like legit. I was like, "Oh man, this is real." And so they were basically in February, they were having, for Black History Month, they were just showcasing independent Black artists, like for, you know, every week they were showcasing an independent Black artist. So it wouldn't necessarily be film, it could be music or whatever. And we were like on week 3 and we happened like had a static movie.
Yeah.
We showed it, bro. I got up on stage. I was so nervous. He's like, "You gotta introduce the movie."
Pre-release, you say?
They're like, "Yeah." It's like, "Yeah, exactly." You're just like, "Yeah, man." Like, so yeah, we'll have you up and you know, we'll have you introduce the film and blah blah blah, bro. I remember walking into the theater and coming out of the theater. I don't know what he was watching, but coming out of the theater was the CEO of Netflix, who's obviously Reed Hastings, like a billionaire, bro. And I remember the dude was just like in his own world, like he wasn't wearing shoes. I'm like, okay, well, this is interesting. We go into the theater, bro. We're going into the theater, bro. And they're like, yeah, man. So yeah, you're gonna introduce the film, and that's gonna be that. And then we'll have a Q&A session. I ended up bringing my camera guy, my cinematographer, for Static, and Bruce Carlton Cunningham, who played the mayor in it. I felt like it would be good for him. He's a filmmaker, and also he's been with me on a lot of my projects. He's an actor, but you know, he's also been with me on all of my other projects too, and helped out in some ways too. So I felt like it would be good for him. So all 3 of us were there. Man, that was a crazy experience. Like you walk into like, I'll backtrack a little bit. You walk into like the lobby, bro. And this is a long-winded answer to your question, but like you walk into like the lobby. Yeah, it's good, bro.
You need to talk, bro. You need to talk.
No, it's like, bro. No, he was like, man, we got a whole list of questions.
We listening.
No, man, I walk into the lobby, man, and it's just like, okay, well, they playing like Kendrick Lamar, but like it's not like the radio edit version of the shit at a corporation. I'm like, wait a minute. I said, okay. I'm like, okay,
nigga,
wait.
We gonna be all right.
So that threw me off,
festival.
bro. That threw me off. Number one, because it's like, you know, obviously, you know, it's a company, a majority like white people, and so I'm just seeing everybody's walking around. It's just like it's normal. I'm just like, huh. Okay, well, this is interesting. So, but everybody's cool with it because that's the kind of culture they have. Yeah. Like the culture is be yourself, and you know, understanding like you got to fucking work your ass off because they give you all of this free stuff. Like, you know, managers got stipends of monthly $5,000 stipends and shit. Like when I was there, I had essentially unlimited Uber rides. Like.
Uber everywhere.
Yeah, bro. Like
everywhere, bro.
And so but they treat their employees well, and they really see themselves as like a team. You know what I'm saying? Like a dream team. Anybody essentially could be replaced, like anybody, if you're not performing well. But if you're performing well, they see themselves as a sports team. Now, for me, I have a little bit more of a heart, so I don't see myself as like just like cutthroat, like sort of leader. I'm much more of like, you know, let's try to work through some stuff. Let's see how can we get to the next level, blah, blah, blah. You know, that's just my style. But what I took from them was like just culture, bro. Yeah. And having an amazing culture that fosters an environment where people want to be there and like want to like give their best while they're there, even if they're volunteering. Yeah. And so I work I've worked really hard at trying to like maintain that and, you know, try to build people up and stuff, man. Like
That's
for real. So that was a long-winded answer to your question,
that's
but
real,
yeah.
nah, that's an
yeah.
experience.
So believing in the vision, bro.
That answered the question.
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
We're gonna see in the future your
You know what I
company
mean?
gonna be having movie screenings. Oh yeah, he got that from that.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, it you know, exposure is key, you know, like, you know, just being exposed to another level. It's like, imagine, you know, for instance, you guys get exposed like on a completely different level of whoever doing like performing at a high level of podcasts. Like that's what it was for me. Like just going to Netflix, bro. It was like fuck. Like, man, like the world is just like so much bigger than St. Louis, man. Like I used to be like, man, St. Louis, man, screw that, man. Like just put out the best you possibly can. The best product, and then like all those opportunities are gonna just be attracted to you. I truly believe in that, man. Truly believe in that.
I feel like the strongest push is when you're able to contrast a previous like set of experiences, get exposed to potentials for some new experiences, and then you're just like, okay, I have a lot of stuff I can chase now. Like,
No, like you can't, you know, you can't be it if you can't, you know, if you don't see it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like whether it's up here or physically, some people need to physically be in those environments. Like I'm a combination of both, you know what I'm saying? Like I need to be somewhat in the vicinity of it, and I also need to like be able to picture it up in my head before I arrive there. And that's the sort of person I am. But no, I agree, man, like wholeheartedly, for sure.
Dude.
Yeah.
Facts.
I'll do one like random question then.
Yeah, for sure.
What is your favorite movie?
Oh, it was Inception, bro. Like that's easy.
Have you seen Memento?
I guess.
Yeah, I've seen. No, I love Christopher Nolan, man. Like, dude's a genius. But you know, I like. Obviously, I have a. It's not like one specific filmmaker that I like. I like a. You know, like an amalgamation of a whole bunch of people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah,
that's tough.
Yeah.
What's your favorite Tarantino movie?
The first half of Inglourious Basterds, and then because like every scene had tension in it, and then Django for sure. Ooh. Like Django is like the flavor. It had all the elements of Kill Bill, and it had the flashbacks and stuff from Pulp Fiction. Like it was like, to me, that's Quentin Tarantino's best film. It's weird because it's about slavery and it's directed and written by a white man, but he had a lot of black producers on it.
Yeah,
so you know what I'm saying? Like it was
You understand what it was trying to
I felt like it was a very sensitive film.
Yeah.
I felt like it wasn't trying to pander.
Yeah.
And he like, I don't know how he succeeded in that shit, but he did it.
Twitter hate that shit. Twitter be trying to slander that shit, but I'm like, man.
Nah, I fucked with Django.
Django hard, bro.
Man.
Like Jamie Foxx is a black gunslinger,
bro. During slavery.
Bro. During slavery, like,
amazing.
Come on, bro. And they didn't like shy away from what slavery was. Like, the white people were the villain because that shit was nuts.
No.
Like, they are evil.
It was wild.
Yeah. No, Tarantino gets the black card in my book. Like he does. He gets to come to the cookout. Yeah.
Kept a good team with him. So definitely, you know, he rolled in with the team.
I dap him up, dog.
Yeah, he's like, dap him up. Yeah.
Give a good dap. I feel like he wouldn't be hip to the wave at the cookout. You know what I mean? I feel like Tarantino eat.
I feel like he's
probably a vegan, bro.
You might have to cut this part out, but I feel like he would date a black woman. No, that's the sort of person I think he is. Like he would date a black woman and like
pull up to the cookout.
Seriously.
Be like, hey.
Like I'm cultured.
I watch an interview.
I do. That's the thing. I gotta go watch an interview.
Yeah,
Bro.
Yeah.
He might be like motherfucking Tommy off Power.
Not Tommy, bro. Tommy gets access too, bro. But here's a crazy thing, right? Like, even with that, like, I think we have to be really open to various perspectives on different stories.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it can't just be like, well, only this particular person can tell this story. You know what I'm saying? Because even if they haven't necessarily experienced it or anything, like yeah, man, we just got to be open. You just got to
get the facts right.
Yeah, you got to
tell a story. Get the facts right.
Get the facts right.
If you get the
nuances right,
you can distill who is telling the story and their experience that they're taking it from. But if you tell things that aren't true, then it's like, all right,
show that you understand.
You're pandering, man. Like
you can show that you understand the people that you're trying to represent,
right? Exactly.
To some degree, then it's like, okay, like I can trust this. Like, if you ever watch a movie, and you're like, I just know there's not a single Negro in the room.
Yeah, because some of the dialogue and stuff.
You're just like, this is...
Yeah.
No, who talks like this?
Right,
like,
yeah.
Where on the face of this earth?
No, straight up, man. Album of the week. Okay.
Yeah, well...
yeah, we're gonna jump into the album of the week now.
Okay.
And, you know, for anyone that doesn't know, we're each gonna just give an album that we think you should listen to this week, honestly. Should be bumping.
Yeah.
I will start off, I guess. My album of the week. I will do this album called Warthog by this artist named Lango from New Orleans. Really sleeper pick.
Of course.
Yep.
Shout out to New Orleans.
Really sleeper pick. But this dude, I went down to New Orleans not too long ago.
Back to the crib.
And my sister was just bumping it the whole time, and by the end of it, I started bumping it the whole time. So
okay, that shit was hard.
He's a rapper?
Yeah, so he's a rapper.
Yeah.
He's a rapper. His he has a very maybe I'll say diverse. Yeah, but he's rapping a lot of songs, but he also does like experiment with a lot of vocals, experiments with a lot of sounds.
I like it.
Very, like he raps and dips into like a really good element of like trap. Like that trap sound. It's hella cold, and you know he has 3 albums out now. All 3 of them are really good, so he shows like a lot of potential.
I have to look him up. So, send me a link, bro.
It was Warthog by Lango. Warthog. I'll send you a link. Warthog.
Straight up.
Mine would be Brandon Banks by Maxo Cream, bro. I don't know if you fuck with Maxo.
Oh yeah, that was tough.
That shit hard.
I gotta get him to him, man.
That was the best part. Turn up. He went down to Texas. He's from Texas, Maxo.
He's from Houston. That shit hard. Nah, he just got signed to RCA.
That's huge.
Yeah, so huge. He's like
that boy had a billboard on the motherfucker.
Yeah, that's huge, man.
And he dropped a fire ass project, like top to bottom.
This week.
Oh no, this is
like a few weeks ago. But just top to bottom shit is crazy, bro. Yeah. Dude can spit. Dude just got the juice, bro.
Yeah, I love it. Robert Glasper, Black Radio 2. So
Black Radio 2?
Yeah, Black Radio 2.
Dope.
It's like, it's along the lines of the internet.
Yeah.
Sort of, neo soul sort of. Yeah. So I'm closer to that than I am to just straight up rap.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But
no, he's amazing. Yeah. He's a jazz guy, but like it's very
vocalist.
He's not a vocalist. No, he teams up with a lot of other vocalists.
He's a really good like songwriter and producer.
Yeah, the dude's amazing. Nice. He's cold.
Yeah.
Cold dude. But no, I was listening to that a lot this week.
Nice.
That's hard.
Yeah.
That's hard. Well, we want to say thank you for having you here. Thank you for coming.
No, thank you for having me here.
We be smoking, we be off the pack, bro. But this was a great conversation. I really enjoyed it.
It was legit, man.
I'm super hyped to see Icon. Shit, I know this shit.
No, it's gonna be dope, man. I just got done editing the second draft. I started editing last Friday, and I'm about done with the second draft now. Like we send it out to different people to put music and visual effects.
Nice.
But yeah, bro, I just gotta go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Gotta go. You going. Hey, you going, bro. I'm just wishing the best of luck for you,
sending you positive wavelengths.
All of it.
Yeah, same here, man.
Spirit bomb type shit.
Give me your energy.
You got it, bro. You got it.
No, but this right here is amazing. I love this podcast. Like, y'all doing good at making, people feel comfortable and that sort of thing. Go with the flow. I like that shit.
Appreciate you, bro.
And thank you guys for listening.
Yes, sir. Like and subscribe.
Again, remember, like and subscribe on YouTube. Follow us on social media at Productions Nina on Twitter. And then Nina Productions Instagram. Also, Check our website out, ninaproductions.com. Scroll to the bottom. We got merch out.
Yeah.
Shit kind of fire.
Get you some gear. Get you some Nina Production swag.
Yeah.
You know?
And yeah, thanks for tuning in. Peace.
Nina Talks.
Peace.